Okay, I've had my egolf 2 years now, so thought I would make a 2 year review. I purchased it originally back in October 2018. Here's a picture where I actually picked it up. I had it delivered from a different province, from Winnipeg. Had it delivered to Calgary because they were just pretty much impossible to get in Calgary at the time. So yeah, I paid full price. I didn't get any rebates or anything like that. If I would have bought it, I think 6 to 8 months later, I would have got $5,000 off. But hey, hindsight 2020. 2 years later, it looks really good. It still looks new to me. I didn't even wash it. I just took this walk around video. The paint's really nice on these Volkswagens. Still looks good. I do wash it once in a while, but as you can see, no dents, scratches. It looks pretty good. It's one of the reasons I got the e-Golf. I just like the looks of this model of the Golf. The size is great. So after 2 years, probably wondering about the battery. I mean, going in buying an electric car, yet at least 2 years ago, had to take a bit of a risk to see how long the battery would last, but it's got an 8 year warranty to hold 70% capacity. So worst case scenario, 70% capacity over 8 years is still pretty usable for me. So using the OBD11 device, you can check one of my other videos where I show you how to do this. I did a full charge. This was probably late August. I did this, a full charge, and then I looked up the info points to get my capacity. Oh yeah, there, August 2020. I can't find a definitive answer on what the usable kilowatt hours are, but I think I've read 32 is what most people think. So if the usable is 32 and I'm at 29.4, I've got 91.9% remaining, which is about 8% degradation after 22 months, and I had about 25,000 kilometers when I took this. That's about 15.5 thousand miles. So, and I've also heard that most of the degradation, the first 10% is the quickest, and then it tapers off. So I think this is all right. I don't know if anyone knows what the usable actually is. Maybe my degradation's a little higher than I thought. For maintenance, it's been pretty much zero because you don't have to take in the e-Golf for the first 24,000 kilometers after manufacture. I had to go in earlier because I think this was manufactured in July and I didn't get it till October. So I went in for the standard maintenance at one of my local Volkswagen things, and it seemed like a really good deal. And it should be because it is a bunch of just inspections. On their website, they just have it as a $50 service, which seemed to be kind of too good to be true, but at the same time, it is just visual inspections and checks usually. When I went there, they said they don't know where this $50 came from, but as you can see, I went to the website again and just got the price off their website for the factory required maintenance, and it says $50.52. They denied that would be the price, but they would just charge me half-hour labor, so it'd be like $65, which I was more than happy to pay that. But then they called and said, oh, there's been a big mistake. This is a 2.5 hour job, and it's supposed to cost over $300. But since we quoted you 65, we'll pay 60. You just have to pay 65. That's so next year they might want $300, which seems kind of ridiculous because this is mainly checks. Check this. Check brake fluid. Check. These are all visual inspections. They're not doing anything that I don't think would take more than half an hour. Checking, visually inspecting, visual inspection, and a test drive. And next year they're going to want over $300 for this, where all the research I've done online, people are kind of upset even when they pay like 125 for this. But in Calgary, they're going to want $350 for what looks like a half hour of labor. So I don't know if anyone else in Calgary has been to a dealer, but this is a big bummer, because the whole point of electric car is that it's cheaper to maintain, and it should be. Just looking, this is right out of the manual. This is just what's required. It's all visual checks. This shouldn't cost $350, but that's what they're going to want. And just let me get to the next. And then basically to my summary. Overall, the good and bad. The good is the quality. It seems like such a well-built car. Like, no rattles, no creaks. Everything's tight. Taking corners. It's really good. I'm gonna just pause the video here. The only issue I've had is, you can see here, I popped out the little handle on this vent. Actually, my wife was using it and it fell out. Not sure how. I didn't think it'd be a big fix. I should have went in right away, because the interior has a warranty for 12 months only. That was news to me. I didn't know you'd only have 12 months for interior pieces. But they told me this would be an over $300 fix, because they would replace like a whole section. I don't know how big the section is, but the part itself was over $200, and then labor just to get that little tab to steer your vent. So I think I'm just gonna glue something in there just to point it in the right direction. But that's the only thing that I've had really go off on the car. So I'm pretty happy with the quality. The storage is great. I recently did I redid my patio, and I put a full-size wheelbarrow in the back. If you ever have to carry a wheelbarrow, put it in upside down, handles in first, and it fit no problem. There was inches to spare. So I just love maybe it's the square opening. It's just very efficient storage. I love the quietness, like from the test drive. Super quiet, still quiet. It's fun to drive. It's fast. It's peppy. And even though the 0 to 60 I don't think is too great, the 0 to 30 is pretty good. Cheap to run. It's I'm guessing about a fifth of the cost for my electricity versus gas, when gas is about $1 a liter. I like the heated windshield. In the winter, I have a winter video out there. This thing just defrosts really quick and fast. The heat pump, it just seems like a great technology. Tesla's got heat pumps now. Volkswagen had them years ago, and it works great. The size for city driving, it's perfect. It's small, but there's enough storage. Pretty much anything I do, even buying lumber, I think I've put 8-foot boards in there for the odd project. And the looks, it just looks like a nice Volkswagen Golf. I like the look. It wasn't weird like the Nissan Leaf when I was looking, and just how the cars are. I don't know, that BMW i3, super ugly. This looks nice. Some of the not so good things about the car, these aren't really big deals though. The info screens are pretty basic. Like, you can't even get a real accurate reading of your battery state. You just have a analog gauge, like you can see right here on the I'll just pause it on that part of the video. So this is all you really get for the battery, is this analog that probably is from the gas Golf. It's a fuel gauge. You can get a graphical look with 10% increments on some screens, but that's it. You will never get anything that says you have like 82% capacity left or anything like that. Not a big deal though. Android Auto, it's nice, really great that it has it, but for my phone, it's super slow to connect. I was going to make a video just about Android Auto and how slow it is. Like sometimes it takes like 2 or 3 minutes to connect, whereas, and even on the Apple CarPlay, even my wife's old iPhone connects in seconds, but the Android Auto, super slow. But I think a faster phone will help that. But the software obviously is just not as fast as the Apple side of things. So I hardly ever use it unless I'm going on a longer road trip, because it's not worth waiting for it to connect. So it's kind of a waste until I get a new phone. And I am getting a new phone, and the only reason I'm getting a new phone is so that my egolf Android Auto works a bit better. In winter range, I kind of knew it going in. I knew I'd be probably a little disappointed in winter range, but yeah, it's cut right in half when you get into the super cold Canadian winters. It's not really the car's fault, it's just the way EVs work, but it would be nice if somehow it had battery management to get a little more out of it in the winter, but for my needs, it's a second car, it's still good enough. And probably the biggest complaint is I'm going to be dealing with VW, and they're going to want, like I said, over $300 just for those visual inspections. It just seems like they're not being fair with their pricing. I think they want to get what they can out of EV owners. When the new ID4 comes out, I'm going to ask them for a detailed maintenance schedule with cost. But most likely I will be going with a Tesla as my next EV. I just don't think they're going to charge a lot more than is required for maintenance. And I think their latest maintenance plan is don't go in unless you need to. Whereas VW is, after the first 2 years, they want you to go in every year. And I'm sure I'll need to do that just to keep the battery warranty. So if they want $300, $350 a pop, for that 8 years, I'll be spending $2,000 just for their visual inspections, just to keep my battery warranty, which I don't like. I want I wanted the savings on maintenance for this EV on top of the fuel. They did say that $50 fee is probably for a regular car battery check, but even still, a regular car battery check takes a lot longer than the visual inspections for the high voltage battery here. But overall, the car has been great. I hope to keep it 10 years. If the battery just has enough capacity to get me where I need to go in the city, I'll keep this car maybe forever. My primary car right now is a Honda CR-V, but I'll probably upgrade to a Tesla probably the next 2 or 3 years, because I'm pretty sold on electric. This car was kind of an experiment on electric, and so far all expectations have been met. I love the car, and I'll stick with electric for sure. And that's about it for this review. Hope you enjoyed it.